Today I'm going to be giving a presentation on hacker culture at DEFCON. So as you can probably imagine, some of you have been to the different conventions, but they range from the very professional, such as Black Hat, all the way down to PancakesCon, which I think was started just a couple of years ago. I'd never heard of it before, but there's quite a range in terms of hacker conventions and tons of subcultures within those. So take this all with a grain of salt. This is my experience at DEFCON over the last few years. So the main attraction of DEFCON is its villages, and each village has something unique to offer, and they can be things such as the AI village, the hardware hacking village. There's one where you get to break into cars, but some of the latest villages are the AI village, the girls hack village, the blacks and cyber village, and a couple others that I haven't put up there, but it's constantly growing, and so yeah, if there isn't a community that suits you there likely will be in some years in the future. Another primary attraction, at least for me, is, and some people I've met there, is badge life. And what that consists of is, so to give some background, originally DEFCON had just one badge. It was a badge for admission, as you would any place, like a ticket, per se. But people kept improving the art, and ultimately a lot of people in the villages took inspiration from that, and they started making their own. And some of them are actually passes, but the vast majority have just become challenges and really interactive pieces of artwork. And there's one for every community, be it whether it has a social media presence or is publicly known or not. And so I've got some badges here. To give an idea, I'll get more into what this thing is. I don't want to take it out because it's a pain to put back in, but this is DEFCON's primary badge, and they usually have some sort of challenge attached to it. This year, I forgot where I put, I think I've got it somewhere around here, but this last year they had a challenge where you had to determine the website that was linked to via some encrypted code on SAO. I'll get on the SAO. I'll get more into what that is in the future, but just so you know, it's this thing. And some other cool badges that I've done are this badge from DEFCON 30, where if you I forgot to put batteries in it, but if you turn it on, then you can actually play as an electronic keyboard. And if you play the correct combination, which is like 40 notes long, that you have to find throughout the convention by checking different Goons badges. Each year it's something different, but it was really fun. And if you crack that code, then you can unlock a bunch of different unique little songs that you can play, or instruments. And here's another SAO. Again, I'll get more into that later, but this one lights up. They do various different things. Some of them, such as the one for the AI hacking village, you need in order to participate in the competitions. There's also this satellite one I got from the aerospace village. I'm sure it has a challenge on it, but I haven't soldered it yet. To move on. So what the SAO is it's short for shitty add-on, and it's basically just an extra thing you can accessorize your badges with. And you can add some on at the soldering village, or you can purchase some, but DEFCON gives you one as part of the start, usually. And throughout DEFCON, and I'm not sure it's part of badge life or whatnot, but as part of DEFCON you can barter various different things in exchange for various things that individuals will be selling, be they white hat or gray hat or what have you. But you can gladly, many vendors, except for the official ones, will gladly trade something like a rubber ducky that enters a keyboard combination that can hack into somebody's computer if you plug it in. Or, no, that was a different one. This is the wrong. Or one which connects to the local Wi-Fi, or which pretends to be the local Wi-Fi, and then sends out enough ARP messages to get other users to connect to it, and then as soon as they've gotten the users to attempt to connect to it, it just drops all their connections, essentially disconnecting people from the internet. Some of them can be a little bit, a little wacky, but if you've got the right badges, or you've got enough tiny vials of alcohol, you can get pretty much anything from them. And these are the three main currencies. Stickers up there as well, mostly for smaller stuff, just because you can get stickers pretty much anywhere. But the tiny vials of alcohol are one of the main currencies as well, because you're not supposed to bring alcohol into the convention center, but if you do, plenty of people would gladly trade for it, as long as you don't hold a bulletin board up or something saying you're trading for it. Some of the typical attendees to the convention tend to be more on the paranoid side, and that's a bit for good reason, especially given the wall of sheep. So if anybody connects to the DEFCON public Wi-Fi, which isn't secured or anything, and they send some traffic unencrypted over it, then DEFCON has a bunch of sniffers that will sniff any passwords or usernames or really anything that people transmit over that, and then they show it publicly on the wall of sheep. And people tend to have pretty unique styles, or more unique than what you'd usually find just on the street, such as this person who is reading people's tarot cards outside of the AI hacking competition. And yeah. Some more specific groupings of common attendees to the conference tend to be security reachers, who are typically in attendance for a specific reason, be that to give a talk, attend a talk, to speak with some important people, or what have you. Some other common groupings of people who tend to attend this conference are legal scholars, legal students, and various people interested in the legal applications and the regulation of a lot of this stuff. So, for example, just this last year, there were a ton of misinformation talks given, but one of them that really stuck out to me at least was when they discussed the different cyber espionage methods that were taken by China and Russia in the 2020 elections, and beyond that as well. And in a similar vein as those two, but notably different, are officials who tend to attend for similar reasons, but also because in past years the U.S. government hasn't been as strongly committed to keeping up to date with current hacker approaches and what have you. And so they've opened up in more recent years to lots of feedback and making sure that regulations match the people they're actually going after. Some other people you'll find are managers and business higher-ups who can be found throughout the convention. From what I've discovered, they're usually at social events a bit more often, and they like to discuss their jobs for a bit. And some other veins are grad students and cybersecurity competition competitors, and usually they'll be invited for similar reasons or they'll attend for similar reasons as the security researchers, or for the purpose of competing in a competition, as there is a DEFCON competition they put on annually. And if you score high enough in the pre-qualifications, then you can actually attend and compete in the primary one. And there are also enthusiasts who tend to go in groups or with a significant other, or me, who just like DEFCON and stuff. So, as I mentioned before, the government hasn't always been as dedicated to maintaining a close ear and close mouth, and to being close with the hacker community. And in the past, they've sent FBI agents and various other federal agents in order to keep tabs on them. And so out of that was born the Spot the Fed competition. And what this consists of is you basically just try to spot anyone you think might be a federal agent. And if you think you found someone, then you put it to a vote with the people around them. And if they tend to agree, or enough people agree that it's a federal agent, then they get "I am the Fed" shirt, and you get "I spotted the Fed" shirt. And so the person who originally put on this competition did have a thing running in the background where they offered to sell federal agents merch or give them merch in exchange for agency merch. And it was, in my opinion, fun. And so there are also tons of groups, and that ranges from just Lonely Hackers Club to DEFCON Furs, and you'll find all sorts of stuff. Like this was a unique locking mechanism that somebody designed and 3D printed. Another person tried to map out the intranet of North Korea, or at least what he could of it, by brute forcing some of the passwords, according to him. And there are also Plumbi. And so some of the larger groups outside of DEFCON that usually attend are the Lonely Hackers Club, and I'll get into some others. But at the Lonely Hackers Club, they usually have a room dedicated to socializing and what have you. But you'll find lots of vendors there as well. And so it can be a good place to exchange any badges or stickers or alcohol for merchandise. And yeah. Another interesting organization you'll find at DEFCON is the Illuminati. Never seen, only heard of through whispers along the grapevine. Now they've got a Twitter, but if you look, you'll find some of their cards, and such as this one, which I think was DEFCON 30, or maybe, no, 27, according to, I can't remember. I know they did something that looked almost exactly like this for DEFCON 30. This was just an example I found online. But they usually do something like this every year where they put an encrypted piece of text, or not encrypted, encoded piece of text on the card. And then if you can determine the encoding method, then you can decipher that, and then you can find a URL that's embedded somewhere on it. And following that URL, you can get to a game server, and if you complete enough challenges on that game server, you'll eventually be able to find out the location of a party they put on every year. And that's a lot of steps, so a good way around it, I found, is you can social engineer your way. If you meet and talk to the right people. I haven't actually been, but I think I've gotten fairly close a couple times. And that's it. Thank you.